Hello and welcome back to StarLadder I-League Invitational Season 4. You are here with us in the middle of Group B. That's right, we have already had part of Group A yesterday and even had part of Group B today already. We saw the most amazing comeback from Mega Creeps ever from Mineski against Kingwin. And that's all aside now. Right now, we're here for the crowd favorite, Newbee, and their challengers are Team Empire. It will be a tough match for them for sure. And here to talk about all of it are my co-panelists, Luminous and Fogged. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Hello. I think I heard 1/8 of what you said there, but
I mean, the music here is very loud. I think they turned it up a notch. I saw the Newbie signs in the crowd already. But yeah, we're here for Newbie versus Empire.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's just start with laying it out first. Right now, it's a one-sided matchup.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Not only is it one-sided, but Empire also has a stand-in, so maybe even more lopsided, you could say.
Yes, not great. Lumi, what do you make of it so far then?
What? I heard my name.
No, about this matchup, like, what's your initial thoughts when seeing the matchup?
I mean, it's going to be Newbie favored, but not as much as I think the Liquid Infamous series is going to be. I feel like Empire, if they have a good day, they could probably take a game off of Newbie, if Newbie play poorly. I do want to talk about stand-in, though, because this is Nick standing in for Silent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Fog and I are not exactly the biggest Silent fanboys out there. Have you changed your opinion since?
No, I think when he had his whole return coming back, he definitely looked shaky. He was playing, I felt like I only saw him play Gyrocopter every game.
Yep.
So I did feel like he was lacking diversity for this team.
Fair enough.
But I mean, we'll see what Nyx can do. I don't think I saw him. Did they play any officials with him? I don't think
I've seen any. Yeah.
I think they played maybe one official with him because I was just like glancing through. They had one with Serenity, so maybe that's him on a different name.
Maybe.
He went 9-0 in that game, so
could be.
we'll see. We don't really have too much information on him, but the other four have been playing together for quite a while.
Yeah.
And FN is probably the shining star for me because he's gonna have. It's going to be him versus SCCC, which is pretty hype because FN is a very mechanically skilled mid laner. Yeah.
Well, we are going to talk more about Empire a little later. We're going to start off with Newbie, the crowd favorites. They just came off a big win at Genting. They have also won already the Masters. They are doing great this circuit so far. They've got 450 points per player, I believe, if I'm correct. So doing pretty well for themselves. They haven't always been super consistent, though, which is, I think, the biggest problem with Newbie. Sure, they came off a big win just now, but for example, at the start of this professional season, when we saw them at Season 3 of the StarLadder Invitational, they didn't do too great. They're a little bit hit and miss, and they haven't obviously changed their squad.
Yeah.
So maybe that is something that that's going to be their crutch. Or they're not their crutch, because that would be something that helps them. Their handicap.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but they're coming off a big win.
Yeah.
They're definitely pretty confident. A lot of the heroes they play actually weren't really nerfed or impacted too heavily. The Naga Siren, the Disruptor, the Outworld Devourer, their big three that they won over Liquid with. So we'll see what comes down to it.
All right.
I think the one thing that we know about Newbie, they consistently is the best team at beating other Chinese teams, which always leads them to getting to LANs or invited to LANs, but then they have issues dealing with some of the other international teams. I think we've seen them kind of pass that phase as well. So I feel like Newbie is really growing. At last event here, they were picking Kaka Sanking every single game. In fact, that's like the only hero he played. So just seeing the team grow, both in like versatility and hero strategy, and now like in the ability to adapt to different opponents, I feel like the team, even though they came in second, like they should have all of that already pat down. I feel like I'm still seeing the team grow, which is really fun.
Yeah. I'm happy actually that for the first time, I think, well, for the first time, not for the first time, but we have someone that can actually translate what BBC is saying on stage.
What? I can't hear you.
That was good.
I was hoping for you to translate what was said.
We need translations, Lumi.
Sure. It's very echoey. If I hear something, I'll let you guys know.
All right.
I can't hear anything.
No?
No, you can't do it?
Oh, unfortunately.
No, I just can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah, I know. It is fairly echoey.
Yeah.
And fairly loud as well.
Yeah. Still very excited for this one, though. We were mentioning SCCC, or at least I was mentioning SCCC because he's been playing like an absolute animal in all these games, and Kaka as well. Actually, majority of the squad, but I want to talk about Faith. I thought his drafting has been really on point, even though he's played Disruptor like 90% of their games. He's been really on point with his positioning, and that's really important for me as a 5 player. When you're that captain, you need to have that good positioning. You will guide your team to victory.
Yeah. Empire making their way on stage as well.
Yeah, they've been consistently with a lot of the same players for quite a while too. They just recently got Yoku back, and then we don't know too much about Nyx, which is the.
Well, what we do know about Nyx is that as of yesterday, he is officially teamless. He was in M19, and M19 yesterday let go of their Dota 2 roster, so that is banded. So and that was Funnick's team.
Okay.
Funnick's team.
So maybe he's not going to be a stand-in after this, depending on how well they do.
Depending on how they do.
We'll see.
Maybe this is the carry player they've been waiting for all along.
Silent should be sweating a little bit right now.
A little bit. I mean, up against Newbee, at least, you know, he's a little confident that Newbee is probably going to do very well.
Yeah.
But one thing that I'm actually curious about, you were saying about how you kind of don't like the silent heroes, the gyrocopters. He normally plays a little active fighter heroes.
Well, I do like those heroes. I felt like I only saw him playing gyro majority of their games. So.
No, but that's fair enough. But Nyx is of a different type of carry. He plays the farming carry, the anti-mage type carries, the traditional carries, if you will. And I think that's a different strategy, different path that Empire is taking in that case.
They're going to have to make adjustments, because at least from what I've seen, I know Ghostic likes to play a little bit more farm heavy, unless he's playing like that Brewmaster, because we have seen him play a lot of like Enchantress in the off lane. He tries to play those heroes that take up a little bit more space on the map. So I think they're definitely going to have to adjust their playstyles.
I think it's less about the heroes and more so about decision making. I actually casted the best of 5 with them against Optic. I think you were in that event too.
Yeah, the RG Masters.
Yeah. RG Masters, where I believe every game went to like, you know, past 45, 50 minutes, and you saw both teams were really crumbling when it comes to making the right plays at the right time. And Empire was able to edge out Optic after getting Mega'd, I believe.
After getting Mega'd. Yeah, that was another Mega Group comeback there.
I mean, that's the one thing about CIS teams on LAN is that they just go Super Saiyan, I feel like.
They just fight.
Yeah, the games look messy, but somehow they make it work. And I feel like they need something like that to beat Newbie here. They need a messy game.
They definitely do need a messy game.
Yeah, they won that series indeed. They were 3-2. Their full 5 series, full 5 games rather, went their way in the end. And here they are indeed, Team Empire.
You've got the names a little mixed up, I think,
was gonna say.
I was like, wait, Yoku is the second from the right, but whatever.
I thought maybe, you know, am I wrong?
Because I was like, I don't recognize one of them, so I know that's Nyx.
That has to be Nyx.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how he fits in for this one, because sure, he's a stand-in, but you know, they've been playing together, obviously here. They've been practicing together beforehand already. I'm really curious to see how he's going to do, how he's going to fit in. Perhaps this is, you know, the start for Empire that they need to do well in the rest of the Dota 2 Pro circuit.
Yeah. I guess less data for Faith to pick ban as well. They don't know what Nyx is on.
It's been like 16 days since they played an official game too, so they're probably going to look at those and be like, all right, yeah, you know, the Enchantress, the Bane, probably the 2 big ones that we were talking about a little bit are going to be the targets. But I did like what you were saying. I think Empire does have to come out of this game like steamrolling. I think they need to come out ahead in the lanes, because I think if it comes down to decision making, they're going to lose the game versus Newbee. Newbee is just way more of an advantage in that aspect.
The more experienced team. Yeah. One thing that I think Empire has, which you just pointed out, what Newbee doesn't have, is they have a lot of data to go through. If you're up against Newbee, there's a lot of information about what they like to play, what they don't like to play, what's strong against them, what's weak against them. So I'm curious if we're going to see something like Naga. Is Naga Siren going to make it through? Because we have all seen Kaka's Naga Siren. That was like the story in Genting last week.
They both play it. That's the thing. They play the same. They actually share a lot of the same support heroes. The Naga Disruptor. That's I mean, it's a CIS classic. The Disruptor, of course. They really do like playing that one. Same with the Earth Spirit. Miposhka's played that one a lot in the past. So we could see some similarities in hero openings between the two teams.
I feel like in the current patch, it seems like most teams have a pretty stable roster of supports. What differentiates the teams is generally when it comes to cores and what kind of style they play with the cores. Like, for example, we saw Liquid showing the triple pushing or lane shoving strategy with the Lone Druid yesterday, but Kingwin, what they play Lone Druid is kind of different. So even with the same heroes, they play very differently from the cores.
How would you describe the style of Newbee, the style of play, if you were to describe it to someone that hasn't seen them play before?
Consistent.
Consistent, okay.
Consistent team fight.
Yeah.
They press their advantage early. So if they don't like really slow down either. That was the most impressive thing for me with Genting. Not only just like their positioning and stuff, but it was like how fast they were. Usually when I've watched Newbee in the past, they were a bit slow. They would sit back, they farm a little bit more. This last Newbee, these guys were just fighting nonstop. Yeah. They would take every single engagement.
That sounds like it's really difficult for a fresh team like Empire to come in and actually try to, because I would imagine that they would want to try to slow the game down so they can play their own style in that. But it seems like a very difficult team to get in between.
Yeah, that's why I feel like Disruptor is going to be really big between these two. I mean, it's Faith's most played, of course, in Genting, but...
I mean, out of the 4 position 5 support heroes, one of them got gutted, right? The Shadow Shaman is like unplayable now.
Poor Rasta.
So there's like 3 more left to pick. So I guess it's what? Shaman, or sorry, Disruptor, Bane, Rubik.
Earth Spirit?
What else?
I think he's thinking 5 heroes.
Position 5 heroes.
Like, I think Lion.
He's making a comeback.
I think he can come back. Come on.
Sure.
We'll give Lion a little bit of love.
But that's my point stands, right?
Yes,
There's just not many good position 5.
Now.
I know EG has been like pumping the Warlock a bit. Misery has been loving that hero, but
Newbee did play it once as well at Genting with the Naga again, though. But
so is the focus on this game going to be the supports then? Kaka, Faith, Yoki, Miposhka?
I don't think so. No. I think the supports are going to be mostly the similar picks. We're not going to see a surprise. I mean, we might see a surprise Lion position 5.
Yeah.
We're not going to go too like crazy.
Okay.
With like a CM or something.
Oh god, no! I knew you were going to say Crystal Man. That hero's too slow. You don't move.
So the focus is going to be for you then, Lumi, on the cores, on the carry and the mid?
Yeah, because I feel like, for example, SCCC has, like, for example, he could pull on Ursa, he could pull on OD, and depending on what the picks are, it's going to really define what kind of strategy both teams going to have to play and react to.
And then you got FN and Nyx as well. In terms of FN's mid-hero pool, would you say is it similar to SCCC as well?
Yeah, he plays the OD, he plays the Queen of Pain. He likes to play those kind of aggressive
I hope
lane
he's not going to play
dominators.
Queen of Pain.
He's been losing a lot.
He's been losing a lot with Queen of Pain, yeah.
He makes some interesting blink decisions because he likes to go for the kill. That's the kind of player he is. He always blinks in really aggressively.
There's also a thing as too aggressively. You know, you got to know when to back down. You got to know when to not go.
Definitely.
And he's been not knowing that for a little while. So, but maybe we'll see him being a changed man. And if we're seeing Queen of Pain at all, we have not seen a lot of Queen of Pain this tournament at all.
We just saw I remember the Miracle game. I think was that the only one?
I think so.
I think we've seen a drum squab earlier.
Oh yeah,
as well.
we did.
I forgot who played it though.
That was LGD.
Complexity game.
I think maybe
Complexity in LGD series. Somebody had a drums quap.
Yeah, they went double no magic wand into drum. Yeah.
I think it was one of the Coles players.
Okay.
I could look
Chessie,
it up,
maybe,
but
I don't know.
Don't really want to.
We're not doing that series anyway.
No, not for Queen of Pain.
I'm doing that thing where I could barely hear you guys, so I compensate by talking louder.
That's
okay.
That's what we all do, I think, and I think the people at home are well aware of that as well.
Sorry, we were shouting.
They're like, why do they just keep changing their voice volume? I'm in a great spot. I'm in between, so I kind of get both. I can kind of hear you guys a little bit. It's good.
It's good.
Good spot.
Now, if only you could speak Chinese, so you could help translate as well, but no.
I will work on that.
No.
You know, throughout the years, like, our table have been getting curvier and curvier, right?
Yeah.
Because when it started, it's just one straight table, and then you sat people.
Yeah.
We need a triangle, right? So we can all face each other.
But then, sure, but then Fog would sit in a point. That's weird.
That's fine. He's the star.
Wow, thanks.
He's the center.
Thanks, babe.
I've also seen a triangle where I'm on one side and the other two are on the other side. So I'm basically interviewing you guys, or I'm getting
that works too.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about. We're talking about the desk.
But no.
I mean, I would talk about Dota if there's a draft, but you know, we're like.
We are talking about Dota 2, about Team Empire and Team Newbee, which. Lumi, you said it was less one-sided than the infamous Liquid series, and to be fair, on hindsight, especially I think it was the first game between Liquid and Infamous.
Yep.
It was pretty close. So you're thinking Empire here has a good shot of taking a game off of Newbee?
I think so. I think it would be very foolish for anybody to bet their hair on a 2-0 on this series. Because I could.
They got to stand in.
Yeah.
Newbie just coming off a win. I think Newbee's gonna kind of crush them a little bit.
Will you put you?
I think we'll. I think
will
I'm
you
not
put
gonna,
your
I'm
hair?
not gonna put my hair on this.
Exactly.
One. Absolutely not. No.
You would not put
But
your
I think. Wait, could I put my hair on this one?
No, dude.
Well, what about the honeymoon phase?
What about the honeymoon phase?
Well, I think we were talking about it. I think Empire really needs to they need to snowball the lanes, and then they need to just it's either snowball lanes or heavily outdraft, which I don't think is gonna happen versus Faith with so much experience.
Do you know where Nyx is from? What country?
I would imagine Russia, but I can look it up.
Okay.
I would imagine, yeah, I think that they would all be Russian or Ukrainian, right?
I would think so.
He looks a bit Asian to me. Like he has some Asian blood in there.
His name is Alexander Levin.
That's definitely not an Asian name.
That's definitely not Asian at all.
Oh, man.
Definitely not. I just have to find the right page where it was at.
Looks like Empire's maybe having some
issues?
Some issue, maybe?
It seems like it's always that side. Have you noticed?
What was that?
It's always this side that has
that
issues.
side?
Yeah.
The right side?
Yeah.
Maybe.
He is indeed Russian, a Russian professional who last played for M19.
I would assume that he was Russian because he was playing for that team. That's if he's playing with Funnick and stuff.
And he is playing the core role here, right? Or did they swap with FN? Because I see here that his role is solo middle.
FN is mid, I'd imagine.
I
and
would
then
imagine.
Carry, and
I
then
would
Ghost
imagine he just directly replaces Silent.
Yeah. I would think so. I think replacing your carry player is the easiest one. I think we've said that a lot.
Yeah.
Placing those other roles with a stand-in can make the game a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
And here we go. We got a draft.
Indeed, we do. Empire will be on the Radiant side, Newbee on the Dire side, Clockwork, Tusk, and Razor removed by Newbee, as Empire removed the Tiny, the Naga Siren, unsurprisingly, and first pick will go to Newbee, by the way.
So it's going to be what? Bane or Disruptor, probably?
The Omni Knight ban last.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can read from these first 3 bans? Or are these just the standard heroes to remove against the teams?
I think they're more standard heroes, especially like the Naga, the Tiny, that kind of stuff.
I think Empire will go for what? Disruptor, Earth Spirit, something along those lines?
Sure.
I think that's pretty strong versus Bane.
Or Night Stalker, Disruptor Night Stalker.
Maybe Night Stalker, yeah. But yeah, I think the bans. I mean, Naga, Omni definitely makes sense. I think Omni's still really strong.
Actually, I like.
Didn't hurt too much.
Sorry, I like ET a lot against Bane. As a support.
Yeah, I do like ET a lot.
So I might go Disruptor ET. Okay.
Hey.
That is their most picked hero.
Yeah.
We have seen Enchantress banned out the entire tournament so far. I think almost every game.
Really?
I mean, most of our games, not all of them, but most of them.
Okay.
Finally.
Empire tends to play this one in the off lane.
Yeah.
Ghostic has won. They've actually won all of their games recently. At 707D, they won all 3, and he played all 3 of the Enchantresses.
All right.
It did get, what, a 3 base damage nerf in the patch, I want to say? Yeah, I think it's a 3 base damage
I'll take your
nerf.
word on it. I do want to say Enchantress, if you pick it up so early, it's very punishable.
Yeah.
Like, for example, they picked the Shaman.
They picked the Shaman.
They read the patch, right?
So they're going to take Kaka Sanking.
All right.
That could still be, that's a little bit of a flex pick, because
Sure,
that
sure.
could be still KP's hero. Wow, they picked the Shaman.
They did.
So Ether Shock got, the cooldown got crushed 14 seconds down instead of 8 at level 1, and your Shackles only do, what, 60 damage instead of 160? He got hit really hard.
He still punches really hard.
He does still hit really hard. The right clicks are there.
But that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess once you get your levels, you're still the same hero, but the early on definitely got impacted quite heavily.
I mean, the problem with Shaman is it's hard for you to get your levels, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I did like what you were saying though. You know, opening with that Enchantress definitely leaves you a bit open because Newbee, we have seen Mugi and SCCC both played that Ursa, which is very good versus Enchantress. Or they can just get a lot of spell damage, which they have already started to do so.
I mean, if you just look at safe lane carry, 2 hero comes to mind: Juggernaut with a spin, or Gyrocopter with a Rocket Barrage. And it's very easy setup with Bane as well. So
Gyrocopter removed though.
Gyro already removed.
Fair enough.
They had the same train of thought.
Empire wants to be able to, I think, take those early fights, and Gyro would enable Newbee to take those, match them with those engagements. Lycan does get taken out.
Are there any other ways you can prepare for an Enchantress offlane? Because Gyrocopter would have obviously been a good choice.
I think there's a good chunk of options. It's either you can, I mean, you can go with dealing in the laning phase, and you can get like those Ursa's, Jugs, these kind of like kill heroes to kill it, or you can just pick something like a PL and go into like the later stages where Enchantress just super struggles, just becomes pretty useless versus that hero if it gets late game or mid game.
If given a choice, I would much prefer dealing with her in the laning phase, because I feel like she, as an offlaner, she's very much like a Queen of Pain in mid. Like, she needs to dominate the lane to have a good game.
Yeah.
If she like has a very mediocre or even a poor start, then she doesn't scale that well. Like, you need to get a lot out of the laning stage. Another hero to protect the Enchantress, I think. I wonder if they're putting too much stock into this Enchantress pick.
Yeah, they banned both Lifesteal and Gyro to just protect that hero.
You use your first pick and all your bans on the second phase
for
Enchantress.
What else would you ban? Like, are there any non-Enchantress threatening heroes that you would have liked to see removed at this stage?
I mean, at CCC OD, if there's a certain strategies, you know.
But if you're going to try and ban out SCCC's heroes, I mean, good luck, you know? There's just so many.
Like, for example, right, Shaman has a toolkit of single target control where OD is particularly good against with the defensive Astrals.
Yeah.
So if they're kind of angling towards that direction, that's a hero that you can ban out. But
so does Empire want to fully reveal that this isn't offlane Enchantress is probably the biggest thing. Because right now they still could throw it back as support. Maybe that's what they're trying to do as well. They're trying to throw them off guard, throw Newbee off guard a bit. I'm still seeing the Earth Spirit. I think that's if they wanted to reveal that the Enchantress is an offlaner.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also wondering if either teams or any teams in the tournament will pick up a Shadow Fiend at any point. Because we did see a pretty sizable nerf on the hero.
I felt all the nerfs were, a lot of the nerfs that I saw were like early game nerfs, right?
Yes.
And then the hero becomes the same as they were.
Yep. But for Shadow Fiend in particular, the early game impacts him so much more.
Yeah.
All right,
this will be the bounty hunter.
That does reveal that it is that offlane inch, and they are trying to punish lanes.
If I'm Newbee, one weakness I see in Empire's draft right now is that none of these heroes deal well with pushing strategy that well. Like, particularly 5-man, right? You grab a TIE Hunter, you 5-man into Bounty Hunter, there's not much a bounty-based lineup can do.
And that's Newbee's specialty.
That's what they do.
Yeah, just group up and go. So options.
Yep.
I mean, they can just pick some really strong laners that don't really care too much about the bounty either. And they've already got Bane. Bane doesn't give too much. Doesn't care too much about that hero in the laning phase. I want me some more Mugi Ursa, man. Mugi Ursa was so good at Genting.
Do you think it will still fit this draft, Ursa?
I think it could. Yeah. I don't know if they want to pick it here, though.
I mean, it lanes well against Enchantress.
Yeah. We're gonna go for
PL
that.
is the other option. Yeah, that's one that we were saying. Versus Ench.
Yeah.
If you just make it mid game, that hero just falls completely off.
So they don't necessarily need to deal with Enchantress in lane because they already have a tool to deal with their lane.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, the whole thing with Enchantress, I guess you could take an illusion and get your own army, but it's not really like reliable or anything.
They've got a lot of straight burst, PL, Sand King Bane. Definitely good magical burst to deal with the Ench. And Empire is definitely going to struggle to kill this PL with their first 3 heroes. They don't really have ways to catch him or the lockdown. I mean, Shadow Shaman, you have lockdown, but not, not for a PL. It's not some AoE stun, they're lockdown. Empire is low on time here.
They are. Well, it will be the Tinker. Tinker did get a bit of a change.
15 movement speed nerf.
15 movement speed nerf into that, indeed.
Yeah.
From 305 to 290.
Yeah, that's a pretty big hit in the laning phase.
Yep. So normally I would be screaming offlane Zeus as a counter, but I don't think offlane Zeus against Bounty, Shaman, and a side lane harassing you. But I think Newbee actually play off lane Zeus on
They
KP,
do.
right?
I mean,
So.
they could pick Storm or Zeus here.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
will be
Well,
an
there you
offlane
go,
Zeus.
Newbee.
Good call,
Look,
good call.
it's really good if you survive the laning phase, but I'm not sure if you can. That's the thing.
He'll get it. He'll get stuff eventually, right? I mean,
Can you go offensive with PL and give Zeus a 1v1 against Enchantress? That's still pretty rough, right?
that doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get your farm, though, right? But you'll probably get dove a lot.
Yeah, I just don't know where this Zeus could go.
They have ran it mid.
Okay.
They have ran SCCC on the
Can
Zeus.
you do position 4 Zeus? Put a Sanking off lane?
Doesn't sound
Doesn't
doesn't
great.
sound amazing.
Look,
I mean, if you can get away with the support Zeus, it of course can. But I think he wants
Yeah.
to get more farm, right? He wants to get that Aghanims for the Tinker.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they do take out the Storm anyway. I think you kind of have to.
I will pay money to see a SCCC QoP. I feel like this is a pretty good QoP game.
This looks like a pretty good co-op game.
You could blow up the Enchantress, you could blink away from the bounty. It's
You
a
can
pretty
blow
even
up
matchup.
almost anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all very squishy heroes
Yeah.
outside of Empire.
The downside to that is you have Zeus, QoP, and PL, and neither of them could hit buildings. So I feel like this last pick has to like hit buildings somewhat. I think in China, the traditional counter pick to Tinker is Sniper, which checks all the boxes of like good laner, could push buildings. But again, you have a very susceptible lineup to being ran at.
I'm down for Sniper or OD. We've seen, I mean, people have picked Tinker versus OD, but yeah, Sniper OD QoP. Let's go.
All right. See what they go
And
for.
then now, what about for Empire? What can we?
Newbie banned out the anti-mage.
They banned out AM. Yeah.
So we're looking for the hero for Nyx, actually. Nyx, the top 3 most played heroes are Medusa, Anti-Mage, and Juggernaut.
Oh, that's gonna be confusing. I was like, wait, Nyx Assassin? What the hell?
I guess they have the ultimate final pick, so they'll wait
Yeah.
to see Newbie.
Could Juggernaut still be good? Juggernaut Battle Fury?
Guess it could be. They don't have a. The thing that concerns me for Empire is they have no frontliner
Yeah.
at all.
I don't think that's gonna, like, can you fix that with the core position? Last pick? There's the Legion Commander.
Oh, so Zeus mid,
Yep. Okay.
Legion off lane.
Yeah.
Huh.
I do like Juggernaut here. I feel like
Yeah.
Healing Ward should have a very decent job staying alive, and you can mitigate a ton of that damage coming in. Oh, it's gonna be
it'll be
Sven.
That's the
Sven.
frontliner. Gives them actual disable on top.
Sure.
They've got Bounty Hunter plus Tinker. They've got the track plus the Tinker, which we've seen, and it is gonna be Nyx mid and FN playing the safe lane. It looks like.
That is what it looks like indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Can
So-
Sven do it?
Lumi, what do you think is very important for Empire's lineup to be successful?
They need to punish the Zeus. I feel like that is the one weakness. Mid lane is a little bit harder to kill, but it's still very doable when you have a bounty.
Yeah.
So that's where I put most of my attention at.
All right. What does Newbie need to do to be successful this game?
Just don't get run over in the lanes. Shut down the Sven. Don't let him farm Ancients, because I think the Sven is their biggest, only real win condition for Empire. I think this Tinker's gonna have a really hard time with a Bane sitting in his lane.
Okay. Well, let's find out what's going to happen in the first game of the series. It is over to our commentators, Capitalist and Blitz, for game 1.
That's right. Thank you, Shiver. Cap and Blitz back at it again for Newbee versus Empire. Blitz, what do you rate Empire's chances here against Newbee?
It's okay.
Yeah?
I think Sven is probably like the best stopgap hero that they were going to get, but I don't really like that hero. I think it loses a lot.
Legion Commander?
What? No, I'm talking about Sven, dog.
Oh, Sven.
Legion's
Sorry.
okay.
We were talking about Legion earlier.
I think Legion is good if you can run over the lanes. Like if the laning phase is really good, that hero feels very strong.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like you're playing against a Shadow Shaman. The patch notes are like the stuff's live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see fools getting banned for like 6 months left and right, so it has to be.
Yeah. What about the Zeus?
It's Newbee's preferred counter. I've seen it twice now in the past like week. Because obviously they use it in Genting as well.
I know. I
What
called
Chinese
it.
team did
but
they crush?
that time it was also
Was it
versus
like
a
Beachy or
Terrorblade.
something?
Yeah, I think so. But it was also versus a Terrorblade, which
Yeah.
made it extra strong.
It's
Here,
great against Tinker, though.
it's just a Tinker counter, right?
Yeah, it's okay against Bounty because you can just chill farm from behind.
Yeah.
It's really good when the enemy doesn't have gap close.
Actually, they had a Bounty Hunter, too. It was
Yeah,
Terrorblade,
yeah.
Bounty Hunter,
You just
Tinker.
you sit back and you zap, and if they can't get close to you, you continue to zap and zap away.
Zap, zap, zap. Zap.
Yeah. Ah.
So are you feeling, I mean, it does seem like Sven, they need an answer, a little bit of better of an answer to Phantom Lancer. It's a slow hero, though. Same with the Tinker.
Yeah.
And it's not really, like you talked about, one of the big strengths of the Tinker is the fact that he deals with all split push.
Yeah, he
right?
deals with
He
all split
handles
push.
all of it, so you can go in 4-man all you want. But I don't really feel like a Sven does that for you. Sven just is going to spend that time farming his jungle.
That was it was a weird, interesting thing yesterday when they won with the Sven, where Ame went like Shadow Blade.
Oh, yeah.
The Liquid guys thought
That's
that they were going to lose that game.
Why? I don't remember too
They,
much about
they
that
just
game.
felt like the Dusa would eventually, like they were going to get countered.
Oh, yeah.
And they had good heroes, but unfortunately that did not happen for them.
Who was playing that game?
I was like Cole versus LGD or something. LGD was just the better
that's right.
team.
Yeah, it was because Ame was playing, right?
Yeah. That was the first time I'd seen Sven win in a while. Personally.
And that was also a very special Sven game.
I think I saw like the last 6 Sven games lose.
Yeah.
And that one, if we believe...
Why? What's wrong with the hero?
Doesn't feel as strong. Pace of the game, all the carries get Battle Fury anyways. So his like main advantage kind of got taken away. Although it might be better now that nobody wants to get Battle Fury. Or at least like PL doesn't.
I was about to say, Battle Fury didn't get nerfed that hard, right? It was creep damage and anything else?
I can't remember.
10% creep damage and something.
Yeah, you guys got to give us a second to like... There was a lot of patch stuff that popped when it happened at like 4 a.m. in China, and I just...
Yeah, I literally only have read it once so far, and that was while I was eating breakfast. What you gonna
But this is our job, is to tattoo it on the back of
That's
each other's
true.
heads so that we can read.
Well,
If you haven't
if
lost
you
your
shaved your
passion
head
the
for
game-
me,
yeah, if you haven't lost your passion for the game,
you would have memorized every single one of these
you'd be
details
Prison
by
Break
now.
style tattooing your body with the newest patch notes every Thursday.
What do you do with the old patch notes, though, when they become irrelevant?
You scratch them out, dude. If you're real hardcore, like I spent like $10,000 on tattoo removal every year.
All right, we're unpaused again. Looks like Newbee are going to go for a smoke, wrap around here. Ghostic is already showing himself against Moogie. Moogie's kind of baiting Ghostic in.
Ghostic is so dead.
He is.
He has
mega
never
dead.
been more dead in his life. Give it to SCCC.
And this is
You know who the
why.
carry is? Dude, look at Moogie.
Moogie takes it instead.
He sees the arc lightning going out.
No.
Gross. Very well done, though.
This is why you don't play those poke games with each other.
Yeah.
Those never end up well.
The assumption, of course, is that they were going to the other rune. But I really like the rune stuff now. Like the mind game on mind game stuff. I think it's so cool. I think that's a very cool addition to Dota.
It feels like a fun way to start out the game for us, too.
Yeah, yeah. Like it adds more variance to the game.
Bounty Hunter going to go for a pull to help out his homie, the Enchantress off lane here. Yoku can always just go invis if he needs to.
Yoku 4.
Yep.
I remember when this guy was like the offlaner.
The offlaner, and then he said he hates offlane and demanded to play, what was it, mid?
Yeah, mid.
Yeah. That didn't go over so well.
He was a really good offlaner. I wonder why he hated it so much. Like, I was talking to Rezo about that, and I was like, this guy was beast at it. Why did he just decide? He's like, I don't know, he just didn't want to do it anymore.
I remember he was a really good lone druid.
Yeah.
That's,
his
that's
Sand
what I
King.
remember the most.
His Sand King was something else. But you can't force people.
Yoku
Ooh.
is going to try, manage to get the sentry out.
That feels real bad.
Yeah. SCC is... At least he can play against laser.
Don't even bother giving your mid laner the sentry. You know the bounty's going to be faster dewarding it.
Yeah.
Because he always has the advantage of being able to place his second.
Yeah. And it's even if you, like, somehow get the sentry down after he lays down his, He's probably still going to kill yours, and if they're both dead, then it's bounty hunter advantage.
It's just a real crap situation to be in.
So don't even buy this entry for your mid? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, support players don't buy wards.
Wow.
Don't worry about it.
That's a classic mid-player analysis right there.
As the mid player, I'm telling you I wouldn't want one. So technically, I'm being a good guy. FN's copying a lot of damage here, though.
Yeah, he could very easily get run down here. Kaka not going to go for it. Meanwhile, top lane, they're going to try and go for a kill on Ghostic here. Does not have any more heal. Yoko's going to help him out. They might actually be able to turn on Faith, but Faith actually finished him off with the Brain Sap. That was just barely enough damage. He is going to cop a lot here. Yoko can actually, if he can keep up, he's got level 2 now, but it looks like Faith is fast enough with the boots first.
Dude, Bane is really quick.
Yeah. And he's got boots.
Yep, not going to kill that guy.
How did he get boots first? What did our Sand King start with?
No boots.
Oh, he bought the dust, huh?
Oh,
Faith is still getting caught, though.
Dude, Faith is mega dead.
Is he? Orb of Venom? Tick, 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 tick. He's not going to get another hit in.
Oh,
Faith
boy.
is too fast. He lives with just 3 HP.
Okay. That's the way that one crumbles. Still, Legion's getting oodles of farm. KP taking some damage too. Really like the evolution of KP. I mean, we talked about Yoku a lot, but KP has gone to be such a consistent player.
Yeah.
I think he was the weak link for like some of those old newbie squads when he was kind of like getting into it.
Yeah.
Because when he was in Australia, like the first time I ever played against him was when I was on Zephyr, and he was playing mid at the time.
Grabbed by the shackle. FN is going to turn and fight. Managed to get the 2-man stun. Kaka, very low, eats his way through the trees, though. Body blocking with KP is not going to be enough. Maposhka manages to barely pick up that kill. 1-2 now.
77 base. Ouch. And Sand King's got bad armor.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Dota makes no sense because all the heroes that have, like, the armor-related, like, skins, just, they're all so
the
weak.
weakest. Doom, Sand King.
Tiny.
Like
none of
just
those.
a big rock. Has no armor.
Yeah, if I told you that the giant rock lord couldn't tank hits, you'd be pretty surprised. Okay, so SCCC.
Actually, it makes more sense that maybe magic damage wouldn't be very good against him. He's a rock.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
fire and lightning going to do to a rock?
Apparently a lot.
So our lightning god himself is doing pretty good. What, 21-1 compared to 21 ace? Nice, denied. They are going to be able to catch Maposhka, though.
Give him the last hit.
Yeah, this time around, surely they're going to give SCC the last hit.
Yeah, you die for taking that regen rune.
Yeah.
That's
Is it a worthwhile death?
kind of.
I mean, the regen on Zeus is pretty big.
Oh,
Faith caught
getting
here
low.
is going to get the sleep onto Yoko. Immediately woken up by the Enchantress, who wakes himself up off of his creep, but it's all too slow. Faith is away with the boots. Man, he is... The fact that he got boots first is actually so important for his game.
Yeah, I think that's why they did it, because he understood that he had to trade hits. The Enchantress is also very fast. It'd be very hard for him to survive up here without it. And he
Yeah,
needs
with
to
the
take,
lower range, right? He just gets kited constantly.
So he also needs to be pretty aggressive in the lane if he wants to slow down this Ench farm at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the idea is quite brilliant, and it sounds very simple, but it's worked out pretty nicely. And those are the things that interest me the most in Dota. And he gets the deny off. So stun is wasted.
FN spite denies a range creep in return. I don't think we really have any stacks so far for our Sven. The Ancients not being stacked up at all. No stacks for our Tinker either. So it looks like the supports just have a bit too much to do right now. Try and cope with that. And it makes sense. As a support, you don't want to be out by yourself a whole lot against this team. Kaka is going to be dusted up here. They managed to get the Stormhammer on them. Hoshka, actually doesn't get off the shackle. They managed to stop that with Faith. Nightmare goes down. They kill the Bounty Hunter, and FN cannot finish off Kaka with the Sandstorm. So KP runs for extra damage onto Maposhka, but all around, an easy win there for Newbee. Trade-off.
They're going to get the kill.
Oh, yeah, they gets way too close. Maposhka locks him up in the shackles. I'm not sure if he thought his supports was sticking around for him a little bit longer. Kaka,
Dude,
what is Kaka doing? Oh, what?
Oh, the crowd is like, there was a lot of like confused. They were about to shout like in surprise and happiness, and then they're like, what?
Make the Okay, SCC does make a rotation to bottom lane.
I feel like they could have just triple Shrine there, and they would have been okay. Like, they get a kill, they Shrine up, then they can run down bottom again, do the same stuff. Very surprised that sequence of events happened.
I feel like both teams could have done that, right?
Yeah.
Weird.
It is going to allow Ghostic to get pretty aggressive on Mugi, though.
Yeah, Mugi. It's already down to half HP with Ghostic doing a great job finding the real PL instantly. Does not want to chase into the tower, though.
Mugi did not even try to split his illusions.
No.
Although that might be like the next level. If you anticipate everyone to do so.
If you anticipate everybody to bait the illusion, run away.
Yeah.
Then you just run away.
People are getting way too clever about that. So, concerning thing for me right now is that the Bounty Hunter's still only level 2, as Kaka goes in deep for this.
Nice catch on the Tinker. Oh, SCC doesn't throw it on the ground. Finally hits Nyx, but it's a little bit too late. They lose the Sand King. Obviously, it's going to be worth the trade-off there, but they didn't need that. Oh, that was actually unfortunate. It looks like bottom lane, they killed the Legion Commander.
I think they would have killed Bounty, too.
Yeah.
If the sleep timing was a little bit unfortunate.
Did he dodge the lightning bolt there with
yeah.
the sleep? Yeah.
It was actually really sad.
There are a lot of mess-ups right now from Newbee. This is not the clean Newbee that we saw in the Grand Finals against Liquid.
No, not at all. I think part of it can come down to, like, when you play what you perceive to be, like, a worse opponent. Because there's no way that Newbee thinks that Empire is, like, completely equal to them, right?
And on the teams that you were coaching for, DC and Liquid, did you ever notice that happening with your teams?
Of course. There was, you remember Freedom? Team Freedom, the first time we came back from, like, an event or something, we played them in this best of 3, and they whomped us when I was on DC. Like, they actually destroyed us.
Oh, you told me you guys did, like, zero research.
Yeah, we
you,
just
like, kind of went in, Dota buff
whatever.
quickly.
We beat them all the time.
Yeah.
And then we got absolutely whomped. So then the next time we played them, we stayed up, like, the entire night. We won that qualifier, too. It was, like, I can't remember what it was for.
Yeah.
But we dominated that quals after that because you got to learn that lesson.
Sure.
It's important for every team. You do the max amount of scouting.
Smoke wraparound here by Newbee. Going to catch Miposhka mid-pull here. He was trying to stack the Ancients, and instead he's going to die to Faith.
Who's dominating now.
Kill.
I think he actually wanted to, I think they want to give these kills to SCCC, aside from that top one.
For sure. I mean, Zeus is a hero that really needs to be able to pick up speed off of hero kills. He can't just sit around sitting at the same farm as a Tinker.
Yeah. At the same time, I think this is going pretty well for Empire. Like, Empire's doing a very nice job of matching. It is costing them these Bounty Hunter levels, though. I think he's still only, like, level 3. Like, he's moving around, but the thing about rotating is if you're not constantly getting kills, and even if you are, oftentimes you're doing it at the cost of, like, splitting XP between a lot of heroes. So you're hyper-inflating, like, your own net worth. Like, you think you're getting more than you are.
Yeah.
But you need to get some lane CS.
That's why, like, the bounty runes are really important, right?
Yeah, but they nerfed those, right?
That. They increased the gold, but I think they nerfed the experience.
Yeah.
But I think it was just starting experience. I think it was just the starting 25.
I see. In any case, he's about to pick up his levels.
And he's probably going to be the one to pick up
he didn't break the smoke.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Means they're going to collide with the Sven. FN pops his war cry, trying to get down. Does get nightmared up. They're going to try for the duel here. They need to be able to stall him up a little bit longer, but it looks like he was able to juke that one out. The Bounty Hunter taking off the sleep, allowing FN to get away with his Mask of Madness.
That's very well played by Yoku.
Yeah. And the best part is he stays invis while he takes off the sleep. So that leads into a free push by Empire, who's stolen the Siege Wagon away with the Enchantress. Going to be able to take the safe lane tower for free.
Really well done so far by Empire overall. I wanted to see Yoku hit 6 around this time so they could get even more aggressive. But if you're just doing this well in lane so far, you've kept your mid tower up. I think you're going to be pretty happy about this.
Yeah, absolutely. 60 FPS. Nope, TeamSpeak problems.
Newbie should be a little bit restless here, though. I think they anticipated, like, the lanes to go a lot better. They're off to a good start. It was like 3-1.
Yeah. And they are very dependent on being able to get kills between Legion Commander and Zeus. They need to keep this Tinker down. The Sven is kind of a problem. He's actually done pretty well in his lane, despite he was supposed to be contested.
He avoided like 3 ganks.
Yeah.
Empire's laughing.
Yeah, they should be very happy with the way this game started out.
Chill dudes. This feels a lot better, as weird as it sounds, than the infamous Liquid Game 1 start. Because even though Infamous was up by like 2k gold, it felt very brittle because they were losing in CS like almost across the board.
Yeah.
But this time around, I feel like Infamous, this actually feels like a decent start that it could lead to somewhere.
I mean, part of it's got to be their kind of greedy setup, right? They've got a
Yeah.
Sven and a Tinker, but they won the laning phase.
Yeah. I do like when these like giants are toppled by these slight underdog teams. Empire, of course, got that top 8 at finish at TI with Rezo.
Oh, I'll be honest with you. Empire was not the last team that I expected to be the underdog that upsets one of these guys, but they certainly weren't at the top of my list.
Yeah.
So if they could actually do it, that would be quite the storyline.
Yeah.
But
So
it's a
far, so
long way
good,
to
though.
go.
They're taking a lot of damage to this tier 2
Yeah.
with the double siege.
And there is not a whole lot of ways to stop that. Legion Commander doesn't really want to show. He's currently trying to get some sort of opening with the early Blink Dagger pickup. Between the Zeus and the Sand King, there's a lot of follow-up damage that they can quickly burst down a hero. So I like the early Blink Dagger choice. Unfortunately, it's not working out for him so far.
Nice stun. Dodge.
Tinker comes to bolster FN a little bit, give him some bottle trades. I love it when I see Tinkers move around helping out its cores with the bottle.
Yeah.
It's like such a small thing. It takes very little time, but it helps your cores so much.
Yeah, it does.
Like, that's 30 seconds where that guy would have to go back to base, heal, run back out to lane.
As Nyx just needs a Blink Dagger now. He's going to be in very good shape.
And that's when the true game of cat and mouse really begins.
Yeah.
It's a lot more difficult for Newbee.
Yoku's still only level 5, though.
Yeah, they got to give him some time in a lane or something. Looks like they're going to give him up the mid lane since, after all, Tinker doesn't really need it.
Yeah, he's just going to jungle. I think the way that this goes is Yoku gets a 6, then he just like walks around the map and makes sure that his team isn't getting ganked. Like, tanks some smokes.
Yeah.
Because Newbie's going to want to start smoking and taking fights soon.
They're going to go for all those Legion Commander smoke ganks on a Tinker. And they run into a Bounty Hunter instead. They're going to be pretty damn sad.
Yeah. Bounty doesn't really care if he dies.
This is honestly just a great bounty game, right? Just because your game is so simplistic in a way, you just have to give your team information constantly.
SCCC getting low.
And doesn't really have any way to be able to escape this one. He's going to go for a TP out here. The close quarters is going to make it difficult for Ghostic, but Nyx will be able to burst him down anyway. That brings him a lot closer to his Blink Dagger. Just needs another 750 gold, and he'll be good.
Very nice. And for Newbee, not the easiest to shove out these lanes without showing heroes. Whereas Empire have a lot of ways to do it. Like, Tinker can just sit back, Ange can just send creeps in.
Shadow Shaman bursts him. You've got a 5 position that pushes out lanes. That always feels good.
Yeah. That's why Newbee, it doesn't feel like they can make current plays right now.
So when can they start making plays, though?
Can we check Zeus's items real fast? All right. How's LC doing? He's almost close to Blink.
He's got his Blink already.
Right.
He's had it for a little while.
Probably do it now then.
Catch on to mid lane. They have the sleep into the Fiend's Grip. Kaka drops low, but Awan does keep him alive. What a big nuke. Now, the ultimate goes out, but duel, he's surrounded by 4 heroes. He's going to lose that duel. Dueling into the Tinker and KP. It cost him his life and perhaps Faith as well. They are going to be able to get enough shots coming out from the Impetus. Ghostic is going to try and chase SEC as well. The Bounty Hunter making it a whole lot easier for him. Kaka, marching the machines bit by bit. He's going to be able to bring him down. Nyx tanks the tower for Ghostic to be able to get out alive. 3 down from Newbee.
That was sick. This is not the kind of engagement that you want as Newbee. Like, yes, you do want to go in that situation, but at the same time, like, it feels very bad.
Oh, that is a sentry there. Mugi is going to try and kill Yoku, but can't quite get him.
Oh, barely gets out of the range of that.
Did he not have... he had mana for Lance. What? Maybe he threw Lance on the Ancients earlier? That seemed weird that he didn't immediately throw it.
Awkward situation, though.
Yeah.
Like, they want to go for the kill, but you don't want to go for the counter like that. And it's really hard position for LC to go into. Because dueling a Sven, like, it's counterintuitive, but, like, it sucks because this hero has high armor.
Yeah.
He does more damage than you. he usually just like straight up kills you.
You don't even have blade mail yet.
Yeah. Now you give him 10 damage for free.
Nice.
Which is not insignificant, Austin.
No, certainly not. On a Sven, speeding up his farming, speeding up his hero power.
First duel of the game that I've seen. Anyways, goes the way of FN.
A long smoke. They've smoked from their offlane jungle area, wrapped all the way up to top lane, have gone through the secret shop, and have yet to find anybody because Empire's just 5-manning mid right now.
Yeah, and Newbee, I don't think they want to take this fight right now. Yoku's intentionally trying to tank this out. He wants to find somebody. The disaster for him is if he runs into a gank, gets dueled like 3 or 4 times. That'd be a little bit rough.
Zeus does reveal him, also revealing Nyx over there, but Faith couldn't really catch him. Tries to go for Mapochka, unable to grab him fast enough, but they're still able to nuke that Shadow Shaman down.
Didn't get
KP
dueled.
is low though. Ghost Stick, he is keeping that distance, able to get really good impetus shots down to finish him off. Faith is unable to get the sleep down in time. Yoku keeps the track up, allowing Ghost Stick to be able to force staff himself over the trees to get more damage. This vision on top with an Enchantress, given the extra movement speed, is just a beautiful combination to be able to run down these heroes. And Faith, sure enough, this tier 2 will be 0 protection for him. Empire surround him, bring him down. 12-9 now for Empire with a 2,000 gold lead.
Yep, that's what we were talking about. Like, it feels as though Empire, yeah, the PL is getting farmed, but I don't know how much they care. Like, Ghost Stick is very strong at this point, and Moogie can't fight. Like, he needs more items to be able to fight the Sven, because the Sven just pops God Strength, whacks him 2 or 3 times, gets rid of his illusions. And that's why it feels as though the Battle Fury build is a little bit wonky, because it delays the rest of your items.
Yeah.
It makes it so that you can't fight for some time. Like, the timing in which you would want Diffusal naturally doesn't come because you got to build the Diffusal after it, obviously. But by that time, you already need the next set of items,
right,
and then the next set. The upside, of course, is that you can very easily farm Ancients, and Phantom Lancer makes good use of the mana and HP regen, especially the HP regen.
Look at these shots from long distance. Shuriken, missile. Another missile's going to come in. That's actually going to kill him.
All right, that's another 300 gold.
This is such a disgusting bounty hunter track game. Tinker and Enchantress.
Yeah, it's really beastly right now.
There's actually very few heroes, like maybe an OD is pretty good in that regard. Like, there are not too many heroes that really benefit from track more than these two.
Yeah, and when Empire gets the inevitable Roshan too, because right now they've got so much map control that Roshan should be theirs. They've taken the mid-tier 1, they've taken the 2 top tier 2 hours.
Another scouting ultimate there from the Zeus, completely whiffing. They didn't get any Legion Commander jump or anything like that.
And Mapochka is going to get the stack off, and Newbee finds the ward. But that's
Empire, you just keep fighting, manning, right?
Yeah, I think you keep engaging because there's nothing you're really waiting for anymore.
Yep. You've got the Blink. FN's pretty farmed.
He's about to get Blink himself.
Wow. That's going to be a pretty unhappy Zeus soon.
Yeah, they need to get on top of the Zeus. Zeus is the way that Newbee stops these pushes. And they need to be here as 5.
Newbee.
Kaka's coming in now too. They see Moogie.
Faith is going to scout some of them. Kaka thinking about it, but the Blink Dagger from the Sven is here. So even if Newbee do make an initiation on Empire, they could be deeply surprised when FN jumps in.
Yeah, Nyx is going to shove out top, force people to come back. I don't think this is a fight that either side really wants to take. For Newbee, they don't know where the ward vision is. There could be one behind their tower, and Yoku could just be standing around scouting them, and they can't afford to lose that fight and the tower.
And for Empire, it's an unnecessary risk, right? Like, they're already winning the game. No need to start any fights that you don't have an advantage in.
Yeah. You don't want to overcommit for those engagements.
Yeah.
But
you want to poke at them a little bit first, right? You want to get some missiles out, some tracks down. Mapochka spotted. Sand King is going to try and run him down here. They should be able to finish him. Looks like KP is here as well, so they can actually get a dual kill off of this as well. As long as Mapochka
the rest of his team is coming,
manage to juke him. They're actually coming through the jungle. Newbee's going to turn around. They're actually going to try and fight this one. SCC needs some help. They're going for Ghost Stick right now, but he is super tanky to all this magic damage. Man, to get the duel up, but here comes FN. They're going to quickly kill this unless the Bro Strike. Epicenter going down. The duel finally finishes. KP tries to make it away, but he's cut down by the impetus shot.
No one's taking damage.
They are all super healthy on the side of Empire, even after that Burrow Strike Epicenter combination. And Newbee end up losing 3. And now chasing a 4th. They're going to be able to catch him. He does have a Burrow Strike, tries to get himself a little bit farther away.
Oh, he gets slowed too.
He just can't get anywhere. Another track kill, now up by 6,000 gold. Honestly, Empire looks like they're just going to quickly take this game 1 at this rate.
Yeah, Empire is playing phenomenally. We talked about for a brief second, like maybe Empire, they're not taking them too seriously, but it's just Empire playing very well.
Yeah.
Like you got to give them all the credit right now. They're playing very patiently. They're not making any of these forced moves. They're going to get to sleep up on a ghost stick, but he immediately breaks it with his creep. He's been so quick about that. Oftentimes, when you're playing a team that, oh, here's the duel. They really need this kill, though.
The Sven is certainly not going to be dying to the duel anytime soon. He is super tanky. I don't know how much status resistance that, but that was it did not feel like a full duel. No, it did not feel like the full duration. That was what, 13%? Yeah.
Oh, right now, as I was saying, like Empire, they're not making any forced maneuvers.
Yeah.
Like that was such a patient smoke. They didn't force the engagement at bottom. A lot of teams would feel their lead and they wouldn't know what to do there, but they made a very veteran play. And SCCC, like all these ults to find vision and hopefully engagements, they're just not landing.
That just means you're missing one more nuke to be able to bring down these heroes.
Yeah. Miposhka, that top engagement, he lived for so long. And
oh,
now
KP is dead. FN finds another one. He goes from picking up his Blink Dagger, gets a couple of kills, and soon he's going to have BKB. And at that point in time, he is a rampaging monster that Newbie can absolutely not touch.
Yeah, they don't have the physical damage right now to deal with him. Once he gets BKB, even after the duel, it's hard.
They're going to go straight for the throne while they still have God Strength active for a little bit longer. They also have wards that they can drop here. And honestly, all the lanes are pushed. They know Newbie has to deal with it.
Talked about how because they have the map control, they're going to get this Roshan. And this is a very pivotal one. This is the one where you don't need the Aegis to go high ground for. And they're being a little bit greedy by not utilizing the wards. But I think that if this pays off, they'll get multiple towers as a result of this.
Yeah. And it seems like Newbie have zero idea. They've actually mass TV'd down to their offlane jungle area. Maybe they're planning on going for some sort of smoke. The pings come out now, but it should be too late.
Yep. Roshan's going to fall.
Finally gets it. Aegis picked up for FN. Newbie, quick retreat as they hear the sound of Roshan falling. They couldn't fight Empire before. They certainly can't now.
Does Enchap pipe yet?
I know he had the hood. Not sure. Yeah, he still has the hood because he went for the Hurricane Pike. A little bit more offense. He's actually going for an MKB.
Interesting.
What? Why? Why is he going MKB?
I don't know. Is PL going... I think the attack speed's nice.
Goofy. Duel. They need this kill. They need it badly, but the TP's coming in for the Tinker. They're going to stop that one, actually, with a Burst Strike coming in. He thought it was a little bit too risky, but life number 2, way too hard for Newbie to take. So they're actually just going to hide in the trees, see if they can TP out safely. Is anybody going to get caught? Doesn't look like it.
No, everyone gets out. Nice grab by Newbie. They needed that.
Yep. But that's at the 7,000 gold lead. 18-9 at 24 minutes in. Empire, even better late game, presumably, with a Sven Tinker.
Feels though Newbie need to just make these like one-off plays. They can't allow Empire to just go for this full 5-man.
Yeah.
It's been proven now that they don't deal the damage necessary to kill these heroes. Although we haven't really seen the PL enter these fights yet. Like every time it feels like Mugi's just reading these fights as lost and not showing up.
My problem was, I don't know, like he doesn't provide a disable
to
be able to catch the Tinker. And he obviously is not going to man fight well against the Sven. So I'm just not sure what he's going to be able to do in these engagements. Like he can go for the support, sure, but at the end of the day, the Tinker and the Sven are still going to be big problems for him.
It's not easy for him to kill Bounty either. And they got ways to deal with him with the Eggs. They're all smoked up though. Yoku.
Catching him. They are going to lose Egg. Trying to go for the Epicenter. Kaka actually canceled it. A bouncy laser hitting all these heroes. They're trying to go for the Sven. Desperately trying to bring him down with the duel as well as the Fiend's Grid. They finally do get him. But Tinker is going so much damage. Leno, massive missiles. Mugi's going to try and go for him. Dodge with a blink. Now locked down by the shackles. Maposhka making sure that carry's going to go down. Kaka unable to finish off Nyx. All 5-man down from Newbie. And only the Sven dies on Empire.
I'm looking. I turn around. Newbie just looks sullen. Empire, they're all yelling. Everyone's got a smile on their face. They're feeling it right now.
There was a very loud roar coming out from that Empire.
It wasn't from the crowd because
it certainly wasn't. They are deathly quiet.
Yeah, they are very much in favor of Newbee, but you got to respect how fast Empire's playing. Like going for those kinds of plays, very selfless. And that was the first reveal of the BKB on the Phantom Lancer, and it didn't seem to matter.
No.
Empire just kited that fight so well. Ghostic was in the middle of that.
Nyx was playing, like the back line's got a huge bouncing laser just to start things off. Massive rockets, blinked his way up the side trees. So Phantom Lancer didn't really see him towards the end, and the fight was already over by that point.
They're not going to be able to go high ground, and KP is going to get a dual
Let's
kill
hope
on
they
this.
actually get the dual kill.
Yep.
Oh, barely.
2001 or 2,104 victories.
He's got 14 dual damage, Blitz.
He did
at
it.
25 minutes. Go you, KP. That means he didn't get the Sven dual kill. When they all
there was
focused
no way
on
they were
him.
going to get that Sven dual kill.
It's too much. Yeah. Poke, poke. They do have the Zeus here. Mugi's going to try and chase down Ghostic, but he's already away with the Hurricane Pike. Newbee cannot afford to chase any of these. As you can see, Kaka's actually going to get long range. That was an Ether Lens catch from Poshka.
Love that item on this hero.
Somehow, Mugi is still the higher net worth. I don't know how, than Tinker or Sven. But they're all about the same here.
Yeah. He's hit a lot of Ancients.
That is
like
true.
During the time where his team was getting killed repeatedly, all he did was hit creeps because I think he realized, like, we can't fight. But the rest of his team, it feels very disconnected because it feels like Newbee wants to fight because the rest of their heroes don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of their heroes can't just farm like he can.
They're buying time for a Phantom Lancer that it's not the best carry.
Yeah.
By a large margin. Legion
Nice
Commander
catch.
caught. Good sleep there. Slows down the death. The inevitable one of KP.
That's the best part about Bounty Hunter. It feels like all of these kills are so value.
Yeah.
When you play as Bounty Hunter, like even these offlane kills where KP doesn't have a lot of net worth, it feels psychologically too that you're getting a lot out of them. Like you're very satisfied with them as Ghostic just walks in, gets slept up. Kaka doesn't really know what to do.
They have no idea. They're going to go for the Fiend's Grip. FN jumps forward, goes for the Bane. Immediately Yule Scepter, though. They're going to try and kite FN as best as he can. He's going to be forced to pop his BKB. They've taken a Tier 3 tower. Now they just need to get out. Newbee will not pursue. Or maybe they will. Kaka thinking about it. He still has a track on him, though. That would be a dangerous game.
Yeah, Nick's going to TP out. Almost has that completed Sheepstick. Oof. I'm actually okay with that play. Opening up the Tier 3 towers is very big.
Yeah. I mean, Newbee are already limited for map control with the Tinker always pushing in these side lanes. They lose shrines as well. It's going to get pretty rough in here.
Yeah.
And a Lincoln's choice for FN.
They almost went a little bit too deep. Like, you have to draw that line and tell your team, this is how far we go. We're never getting past the Rex. Because once you get past the Rex and the tower's still up, it's very hard for your team to follow up. But now that the tower's down, it's a bit easier as Yoku. Gonna run into KP, who immediately dispels himself.
I remember when Swindlemelons and I, Kyle, were breaking down a replay called the complexity line.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the line that we always go over and lose the game.
DC, Misery had the same idea.
Yeah.
He was telling me, like, at TI, like, Weehaw was always very good about that. He would set this line and say, like, nobody passes through here. Because you can't imagine that your teammates, especially the weaker supports, they can't follow up with you. Yeah. And Dota is a game of strength and numbers. So you want to hold these, like, tight lines. So you can always back each other up in case something happens. Of course, there are some heroes that, like, just don't obey that. Like, you want your Enchantress to run forward to be very aggressive.
FN popping God Strength. He's going to go for the Zeus here. They need to be able to get the sleep off fast. He's already popped the BKB, though. He's going to demolish the Bane. SCC falls as well. And Newbee, little chance to stop this one. It seems they're going to be forced into buybacks. So maybe they have deterred Empire a little bit. They're going to drop wards here. See if they can take the racks with just that. And Ghostic on the front lines
Kaka,
here.
you don't want to be in this.
You can't do that. KP takes off the track for him, but he's already stopped the Sandstorm. That is going to be racks down with missiles coming in. Newbee are going to be at half HP while Empire run away. Another successful victory for them. These battles just keep on coming and keep on winning for Empire.
Their BKB piercers don't want to be there. And so when you have the Sven that just runs in, there's not a whole lot that they can do. At this point in the game, you would really like your supports to all have 4 staffs. That's typically the counter to these single core Svens or the like. But if you look at Newbee's lineup, they cannot support a lot of items.
Yeah.
This Kaka Sand King hasn't even gone Blink Dagger. He had to go first item Yule Scepter. That's it. Now he's about to get Blink. Like, ideally, that's a force.
Yeah.
Your Bane is nowhere near a force. I would even be okay with it on the Legion at this point. As FN completes the Lincolns in counter to pretty much everybody. There's so much single target on the side of Newbee.
Yeah, now when he pops BKB, he's not going to be controlled up by Fiend's Grip. Pretty much their only stop or duel, and you don't want to be doing that one. A lot of damage coming at Faith. He's going to try and sleep himself,
boy.
maybe? No, he's already dead. Burrow strike through. He's going to stall off FN. Still managed to get off the stun. KP goes for the back line, goes for Gold Stick. Are you really going to be able to bring him down, though? The magic damage is not enough from SCC. He loses the duel. They're going to lose SCC as well, and ultimately they are going to lose this game 1 because they are 4 down, and they call it GG Empire.
Wow.
Woo! What a show from them here.
Nice, very respectful applause. That was dominant. 31-12. Not even close. Aside from the opening 2 or 3 minutes, I think Empire held the lead for the entirety of the game.
Yep.
Very one-sided game.
So, going back at this game, it did feel like there was a lot of moments where we were talking about Newbee and how they can't do anything with their lineup. Was that a problem of their draft? Or was that a problem of their failure to execute in lanes?
I think it was like dual fold. That bottom engagement really hurt them. The one where they just lost like 2 heroes in a row. They committed 3 down there. SCC had to come. If they had just gone for the Shrine, I feel like they would have been in a much better position.
Okay.
And it also felt like there was a lot of, what was it, like disconnection between their communication. Because half the time you could see Mugi just hitting Ancients, and half the time like his team wanted to go for a fight. And so they were never there together as 5, whereas FN always participated in all these engagements. Then eventually you lose that top tier 2 tower because of the Enchantress. You lose that mid tower early on. You need to be able to defend that mid tower when you have a Zeus on your team.
Yeah,
you can't defend it.
When you talking about that disconnect, it really did seem apparent. There was a Sven and a Tinker who were more a part of these team fights than a Phantom Lancer is.
Yeah.
And usually PL's more of an early game team fighting hero than those two.
And that's why it's one of 2 things. It's either like Mugi misread the game or the rest of his team like misread the game. Or maybe it was just like a draft error, as we talked about. Because there was definitely like some kind of weird logic applied there. Because half the time he was just farming and you never felt his impact. And I don't know, it's hard for me to know who to blame because obviously we're not in the team comms, so we can only just like assume these things. Yeah. So I will chalk it up to a draft thing.
What about the Zeus pickup? You think that's still warranted? Like, going up just a Tinker counter, I'm not sure if you could actually pick up Zeus like that.
I think they just like it as a hero to counter the Tinker.
Okay.
It's SCCC's preferred hero. Like, sometimes people have these, like, ticks where they like X hero against Y hero. It's probably one of those situations.
Empire, huge upset here in game number 1. Can they do it? Can they actually 2-0 Newbee? We're going to take a break, come back with the panel to break down that game 1. 1, 2, 3, drop.
Empire victorious over Newbee. That is not what we were expecting here on the panel, but good on them and a great game to do that as well. We saw Nyx debuting on the mid lane on the Tinker. Great showing from him here with Lumi and Fogged. Fogged, let's break that game down. Where do you want to start?
I'll probably go for the safe lane with FN. I'll talk about that one because I felt Newbee, they tried to apply a lot of pressure in that lane with the Sand King and the Legion Commander, and they actually did not shut down the Sven whatsoever. And it came to a point where they really needed Kaka's Blink Dagger. I don't even think he had it at the end of the game, right? I think Sand King never had a Blink in that game.
I don't think so.
So I feel like that's like really problematic when you're committing 2 heroes to try to shut this down, and they didn't slow his farm down at all. And then the other 2 lanes lost as well. So essentially, Newbee kind of lost almost all 3 lanes. The PL was farming, but Enchantress was as well. So maybe considering on taking that Enchantress out because it caused them to throw some, like the Bane was staying up there, but he had to stay up there so long that the other 2 lanes got punished and they couldn't apply as much pressure. So.
What do you make of that game, Lumi?
I think if you look at Newbee's hero, like in a normal game of Dota, some of your lanes you're gonna lose them, like just in the nature of somebody making a mistake or you get ganked. But when you do have the lanes where you win, you want to get something from it. So the one thing that did okay for Newbee was the SCCC Zeus. Like, he roamed around, he was able to get a couple kills. Sure, he wasn't able to prevent Tinker from farming, but at least SCCC got his own, right? The problem with Zeus getting his own is that he doesn't translate that into buildings. In fact, none of the heroes for Newbee, if they, let's say, wander lane, what does that mean? You don't get a tier 1, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of game, I think I checked the stats and I was like, have they actually taken any towers?
I think they only
took
took the
bottom tier
1.
one.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at Empire Shraff, Enchantress, if she wins a lane, she could just grab Catapult. She takes the power.
Yeah.
Sven eventually will take a tower much faster than PL would. And Tinker, of course, we could see that he pushes waves and will take a tower eventually. So just on the game did not boil down to that one point, but it felt like it's very exacerbated by it. Like, Newbee need to kill heroes to get anything, and they weren't even killing heroes. It just looked hopeless.
I do really like that point. I think that's one of the biggest things whenever I've seen Zeus's. It's like you have to have someone to take the objectives.
That's why I said Sniper
afterwards.
last pick. Like, Zeus was going to get gimped, and unfortunately that's going to happen, but you need a hero to take buildings.
Yeah. One thing that we also said before the game started is that Newbee normally likes to play a very fast-paced game, and that it's very difficult for a young and fresh team like Empire to actually get in there and do the same or even be faster than Newbee. And I felt like that was what they did, though. They played faster than Newbee did.
They were way faster, and Mugi went for the Battle Fury build.
Yeah.
And was not, I think they were mentioning at the end of the cast, they were closing it up. They were like, PL didn't show up to any fights for the first 20 minutes.
A bit disconnected.
Saw Sven and Tinker constantly taking these fights. So yeah, it did feel like a little bit of disconnection maybe coming out from Newbee. Things didn't go in the didn't go the way they wanted in the beginning, and then they were like, we have to try to salvage this somehow. All right, Mugi, go Battle Fury and try to solo carry this game for us.
And I think it's okay to play slowly if you could play good defense to back it up. The problem was that Bounty Hunter was everywhere. He was behind enemy vision lines. He was tracking and getting a bunch of kills to a point where, sure, you have a Battle Fury, but every time you gave up a kill, it didn't matter that you had a Battle Fury because everybody on that side was making that much more gold. So I would expect a Bounty Hunter ban.
Bounty ban,
or being stolen. Because I feel like everything else was fine. Enchantress, sure, that's rough, but you could pick different heroes against it. The bounty fulfills a pretty unique role at what he did, both vision and information, as well as the economy damage.
Yeah.
And it worked really well with the Enchantress and the Tinker.
Yeah, exactly. The track was becoming a huge problem for them.
So, looking at the game that Empire just played, Nyx being the stand-in here, we know that Nyx just got let go from his roster of M19 yesterday. We know that maybe, potentially, Empire is looking to see, let's see how this guy's doing here. Maybe swapping him for Silent. How do you feel like he did this game if you were evaluating him?
He played his... Tinker is actually his most played hero.
Okay.
So he did play his most played hero, and I thought he played it really well. He only had 1 death.
Yep.
He had some cool little... I think there was like there was a fight bottom. He gets like a cool little blink out. Yeah. Like when they were going on him, they were like the lance comes out, hits him, and he blinks instantly as the lance was hitting him. So yeah, I thought he looked great.
I think it's hard to see how well a player perform when they're winning, right?
Yeah.
Like we need a Mushi game where you start 0-4, and then by the end of the game we saw Mushi. No doubt in my mind that he was like the best player in that game. Yeah. Right? Because you knew what adversity he has gone through, and he pulled through that. I think we need a little bit more information from Nyx. Not to take anything away.
to lose.
or like
or be on the losing side.
For example, if let's say SCCC got off and he got Nimbus, and Tinker managed to play through that, then there's something a lot more you could talk about with this Tinker play, right? That was a pretty coasty Tinker game, so yeah.
Do you feel like Blitz said it, that he felt like it was a little bit of an outdraft, this game specifically, rather than outplay? Do you feel like that's a good thing to say here?
I guess you could say that, yeah, just because of the having Zeus and having no one to hit buildings. I really like that point that Lumi was bringing up. I think sure you can win fights with Zeus, but you need to make something of it. You need to take objectives, and they didn't have that.
Okay, well we can take a look at one of the clips. I believe you chose.
I think it was a 20-minute
fight today. Yeah, we can take a look at the clip we got for you. It was indeed 20 minutes. This was actually a gank where this Legion commander is like, okay, I gotta get this Jewel. We saw a Shadow Shaman somewhere there. Kaka sees him too. Shadow Shaman, perfect target for a Jewel.
But look, he's level 9. He has no point in Epicenter still. And look at the build he's forced to go right now. He's going for this Yule's kind of build.
Shadow Shaman can get him. Then it's like, okay, maybe we can do something here. he goes for the Enchantress Jewel. Not entirely where you want to
Yeah.
be. Nice Burrow Strike and Epicenter, but
Look how little.
it's
Look how the damage it does.
It just tickles him a
The
little
Epi
bit.
does 0 damage. And they actually just run up and they catch the Zeus instantly. I think that was the biggest thing. So majority of the damage that Newbee would have in the fight is not there. And they're taking this fight versus Empire. And if you see on the minimap, Moogie's clearing some Ancients with Battle Fury. So he's not in any of these engagements.
And he's not pressuring any towers, any other lanes either, pushing them out.
Yeah. And
Results in 4 kills.
he's their top net worth hero. He was actually the highest net worth in the game at that point, and he's not with his team when they're fighting.
But at that point, was he supposed to be with his team, or was his team just trying to get this one kill and it got out of control? Because there's 2 ways to look at it, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what
I think that clip really shows how desperate Newbee was, right? Normally when you bolt and you don't see the you see the roster running away, you'd be like, okay, well, he's gone. Let's not chase for the kill. But they chased super long for that kill, and then we saw the rest. So I think that kill really show how behind they were, and they were just like going for any kill at that point, it felt like.
Yeah, I think that Legion Commander had like 14 extra damage at the
He
end
gave
of the
away
game.
dual damage before he got any back.
Yeah, he gave 10 to Sven before he did get
Before
any
he got
for himself.
anything in for
I think he gave
himself.
some to Enchantress too, and before he got any for himself. So definitely a rough showing by KP.
Yeah.
And I think we've said this one a lot about Newbee is when Kaka and KP seem to struggle, the team seems to struggle a bit. So.
One thing where they also seem to struggle is the following clip. This was kind of towards the end, and we thought, you know what, this game is about over.
It was the first 5v5 fight though by Mugi, or by Newbee. So they do get in. They have the BKB, but look at this. They have to commit so much onto FN that now Nyx is already completely online. They have all the vision in the world for him to throw out his spells, and that was the nice little blink play he did there from the PL.
Yeah, and the PL has his BKB up, but it didn't really make any difference whatsoever.
No, it did not.
Miposhka, right after the BKB end, still grabs him with the shackle, and there's really nothing he can do, and he doesn't even have a proper target to attack to get, you know, his illusions online. So he just, you know, they just die, they roll over, and Empire takes the win. We all were not really expecting that. Now the question is, of course, can they do it again? Because this is a 3-game series rather. It's a best of 3. And we're going to see if Empire can pull out that 2-0. Do you feel like they can? Is this Newbee maybe, you know, obviously they showed some disconnection in this game, but was that just this one game, or maybe they have a bit of an off day?
Maybe they have a bit of an off day, but Empire looks solid. I definitely think that they can take this one from Newbee. They already have that 1-up advantage. Now they just need to win one more.
Yeah. What do you think, Lou?
I agree with that. I mean, I think Newbee's, I'm not too worried for them. They had one bad game. They've been deep enough tournaments. They should be able to bounce back.
Yeah.
So it just a little bit of pep talk should do it. I do want to talk about Shaman for a bit though, because we were both like reading the change log. The Shaman, you know.
You said Shaman broke and Shaman out.
Yeah, because both at the shock as well, Shackle got nerfed really heavily at level 1. But in that game, he didn't really need to do much early on. So I felt like he kind of dodged that phase of the game. I think if we see Shaman being somewhat challenged, where both supports are fighting into each other a lot, then we'll see the nerf really hurting Shaman. So if Shaman gets picked throughout the tournament, that's going to be the one thing I'm looking for to see whether, like, how much does he actually can do early on. Because that game, he didn't need to do that much.
He didn't need to do too much,
Yeah, because there was a bounty hunter already doing things for him.
Yeah, Yoku did work.
Now, you said that one of the things from previous game was ban out the bounty hunter if you knew like, looking for game 2. Is that like the only thing you would change for them?
You know, I do agree with the bounty. I think Yoku did so much work, but I think when you're not used to like China, there's no way that these guys are picking offlane Enchantress. I feel like this is something that just like it messes with your game plan. You're just like, why is this guy here? So I feel like that might just be something that Newbee's just like, you know
Fair
what,
enough,
just get rid of this. Like we don't know what this is. What does this do? And he actually ended up like he took top tower. He had a pretty good lane. He pressured the tier 2s with the catapults as well. So I think that might just be something like get that out of here.
Get Enchantress out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, you know, you see an Enchantress like, okay, we'll pick PL. That's the counter. Got him. You know, move on for the rest. But that unfortunately didn't seem to work out the way they wanted to.
Yeah.
So Enchantress out, Bounty Hunter out. Anything else that you want to see? We mentioned before the series started how Disruptor would be a very core hero for both teams, but they just both ignored it in the draft.
I was pretty surprised by that one, to be honest.
I think because generally Bane is like banned in the first phase, right?
Yeah.
And then Disruptor is like the next up or something. So Bane seems to be very available today.
Yeah.
It does.
I've seen a lot of
I'd like
Banes.
to see Newbee go back to more of like their style of just like this very, very heavy team fight. This one seemed like it was more pick-off oriented.
Yeah.
Zeus and Legion Commander, very pick-off oriented. Bane as well. I feel like just go back to their more comfort, get that Earth Spirit, get that Disruptor, get these heroes that not only work pretty well in the lanes, but mid-game you have this overwhelming fight.
All right, but maybe also allows them to play a little bit faster.
Yeah. Exactly.
which they need to do. Anything you would like to see for coming game, Lumi?
More team fight.
More team fight as well?
Same for Fog.
Yeah?
Like, just go back to your roots, especially when you're now down one game. Just do your try and true. I love it when KB plays Tide. I love it when they do Naga, you know. Throw in a
lot of
Dark
people would
Seer.
say that.
You know, give me that Static Storm. Just give me AoE team fight. I think that's where China's at their best. Like, team fight.
Yeah, not pick off. Team fight. Let's go.
Okay, well, we're going to find out if that's going to happen. We are, of course, waiting still for the draft to start for the second game of the series. We're in Group B. Winner of this series will play again today, and then we'll actually play against Mineski, who was earlier able to beat Kingwin. And then the winner of that series, the last one of the day, will actually move towards the playoff on Sunday. And here are the brackets. And then tomorrow, the loser of this match will face up against Kingwin. And then hopefully for the team that there will be one team that wins, and they'll play in the loser bracket the second round as well tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to say goodbye to 4 teams.
The fun day.
Fun day for Fogged. For some teams it's going to be not as much fun. You know, blood, tears, and
always the fun
sweat.
day. It's the most games.
Most games.
Most people getting eliminated.
Yeah, Complexity and Infamous are already 2 teams that are... well, one of those 2 teams are already going to get eliminated. LGD will go up against the winner of those 2, but also has a chance to be eliminated. And one team will join Team Liquid there in the playoffs. Playoffs will happen on Sunday. That is a single elimination with the 4 teams remaining.
So who do you think makes it out of this bracket?
Of this one, I think LGD.
I think LGD.
I'm pulling for Cole here.
You're pulling for Cole?
Yeah.
Dude, they got crushed pretty hard by LGD though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they got the.
That's why it's like.
I think Cole should win from Infamous. Now, the big question is if they, yesterday had a day, an off day, which everybody can have, and if they show up against LGD, perhaps they have a chance. But the way that the teams played yesterday, LGD should be the one to make it out. And as far as Group B goes, we can take a look at the brackets for them as well. I think as far as Group B goes, we should, in theory, at least that's what I was expecting, have Newbee as the one that makes it out of the group at the end of the day. But at the moment, it's a little bit scary for them.
What if Newbee finish like the same spot as Infamous?
I mean, what if they just they could just bottom out, right? They lose. They lose here, then they lose to Kingwin.
I mean, Kingwin has taken games off of Newbee before,
They have?
Yeah.
So they can. That would be